Well, this is me and my prescription from the doctor for antidepressants that I'm taking now, as my mental health has become more sensitive last days. I'm reaching out to the medical facility for consultation. However, there are tens of thousands of Ukrainians who are suffering from various mental health issues and are too afraid to ask for help. You ask me why? Because of the collective trauma that we got from the time of Soviet Union, because communist leaders made psychiatry a tool of political abuse. How it happens? Let's check in details. When in 1953 Stalin died, finally, the Khrushchev path has begun. This is a period between 1950s and 1960s when oppression and censorship were relaxed due to the Khrushchev policy of de-Stalinization and peaceful coexistence with other nations. No, Nikita Khrushchev wasn't a good guy how he portrayed himself. Let me remind you that he killed millions of his opponents and Beria, as main competitor of his, to become in charge of Communist Party. He just quickly understood that even in full insulation, even planned economy will not make it, and war stagnation in USSR was great. So he needs an aid from the side of Western allies, from the side of US. So he quickly said that it was Stalin's repressions and I'm doing de-Stalinization, because no one will deal with the country who kills millions of people openly. He said that and continued to kill millions of people secretly. So Soviets needs to figure out how to torture and kill people secretly. So Yuri Andropov, who was the head of KGB at that time, suggested to develop and widespread the chain of psychiatric facility across the USSR to fight dissident thinking. And special for this dissident or political inmates, patients like they were called, a special diagnosis was developed: mild or slow progressive schizophrenia, and this diagnosis was not in the list of any World Health Organization and was widely criticized for its scientific inadequacy. And it was developed in middle 1960 just for the secret police as a political abuse of psychiatry and was used only in USSR and Eastern Baltic countries. So new leadership of Kremlin invited another new way how they can keep society in fear and insulate people with the help of the doctors. All could be a reason of mild schizophrenia diagnosis. Even the desire of learning foreign languages, reading a poetry or writing a book if the content was not correspondent with the socialism doctrine. Even if person wanted to lose USSR citizenship and defect to West, escape to West, it also was considered as manifestation of psychosis. Patients were given the special Andropov's cocktail, the Yuri Andropov cocktail like it was called, the high dosage of aminazine and haloperidol. And these injections made people lose conscience and cause excruciating pain all over the body. The inmates or patients were saying that even Gulag, the concentration camps, were much better than psychiatric facility, because in Gulag you had a free conscience and free will still, and you had a special term, 5-year or 10-year. If you were not gonna die, you had a chance to go out, but if you were locked up in this facility, it could be forever. According to the testimonies of prisoners, the most disobedient were injected with sulfazine or sulfur, which caused unbearable pain. Healthy people were legally tortured with electricity, which led to memory and brain disorders. Insulin had even more terrible effect. The shock it caused led to the partial destruction of memory and intelligence. But has something changed since the Soviet Union collapsed? Unfortunately, many of Ukrainians are afraid to take antidepressants because they are still considered it to be Andropov's cocktail that can carry away your consciousness and you can be addicted to it. So they drown their issues in the alcohol or cigarettes or even worse, maybe. When I first told my mom in 2014 that I probably need antidepressants because I had a huge issues with my sleep, I had an insomnia from the stress. She said, no way you will take these drugs. And I'm not even self-diagnosed. You see actual doctors' conclusions made by 3 different clinics. Lack of mental awareness and low compassion level to person with mental disorder is also an issue in Ukraine. In 2010s, my mom once told me the story that her friend made her daughter-in-law to clean the floor only because her daughter-in-law told that she has a depression. So her mother-in-law thought that she's just lazy. All it can be cured with the physical activity. So as a woman of the house, she better clean the floor. And this was disaster. Even after Soviet Union collapsed, old approach, old methods and old psychiatric facilities were still operating. Of course, there is no mass abuse and mass repression inside it. However, even if person was placed to this facility for a reason, the old methods are still existing. Violence, neglect, lack of psychologists, lack of nurses and personnel made these people abandon there. People in Ukraine have a lack of trust into psychiatric facility, a lack of trust to doctors because of the collective trauma we are carrying from USSR. We are afraid to be locked up, afraid to be insulated from the society. We are afraid of shame and to be insulated from the proper education and proper job due to the record in our health history, for example. Now, at the times of war, Ukrainians badly need support and help in mental health because 90% of people still have a signs of PTSD, depression or anxiety, and 36% of population are about to develop some mental conditions. Guys, I would like to say thank you for immense support I'm receiving from you and want to say thank you to everyone who is sharing, commenting and donating on my PayPal page and Buy Me a Coffee page because thanks to your help, this channel is growing and it gives me possibility to explore the deep topic for you. And I need to share with you guys that now I am let's say recovering from the burnout situation. I burned myself out by working non-stop on my evening shifts and providing and making content because Ukraine is disappearing unfortunately from the mainstream media and from foreign media. So I set myself on the success not to stop. But now I understand that I need to take it slow and I need to take care about myself. So guys, please, if you have possibility, please pray for me and pray for my mental health. I was given an advice to balance my life more, as I have a responsibility about the house as any woman has. I should not forget about my self-education, volunteering, learning history that become my hobby. I really hope that soon my overloading on work will be decreased and I will be able to release video more frequent. If you like such type of content, please put thumbs up and share it on social media. And you're willing to support me, please find out and check in description in this video how you can do it. I'm really grateful for any help provided.